You are now entering the spoiler zone. The following podcast contains explicit plot details and pockets of profanity. You have been warned. The Exton Moss Experiment. Adventures in Wine and Space with Simon Exton and Ken Moss. Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to another edition of the Exton Moss Experiment. I'm Ken Moss.
I'm Simon Exton.
And in the second of our Coronation Street episodes to celebrate 65 years of the soap opera, we are watching The Road to Coronation Street. This was a 2010 British drama first broadcast on BBC4. It's the dramatisation of the creation of Coronation Street, the UK's longest-running television soap opera, from its conception to first transmission in December 1960. Set mainly at Granada Studios, this is a 75-minute-long programme and follows the true story of Tony Warren, a struggling scriptwriter who creates a vision of a television programme depicting normal life on a street of terraced houses. Well, there's no tonic screwdriver this time because we are, appropriately, both drinking it with a brew. I've got a pot of tea. Dr. Exton's got his pot of coffee.
I've got a mug of coffee.
Come on, don't spoil the illusion. So, with mug in hand, let's go down to pit. What have you got for us this time?
Well, unfortunately, and this is going to be a slightly odd Black Archive, because realistically, there's only one thing that we can go for, but I suspect it's something that neither of us would actually want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Shadow Squad.
Oh my God.
Now, the reason that we really have to go for this is because it's quite front and centre in the programme. It's where he gets his writing start. And the reason neither of us want to see it is because we've seen all the surviving episodes and they're shit.
Oh, they are. We have a forthcoming
episode.
Oh my. Yeah, Shadow Squad was deeply shit.
Now, I absolutely adore 1950s television. There's very little of it that I watch and I think, yeah, maybe not. Some of the theatrical stuff can be a little bit worthy, but that's theatre. And I'm a pleb and I don't really appreciate the classics. Shadow Squad is the exception that proves the rule, because all 4 surviving episodes are terrible. One is all about stealing cheese and makes no sense whatsoever.
We'll get to it, but I was actually vaguely impressed by the picture quality of the clip they used in the programme. I can only assume that somebody spent a long time cleaning that up.
Well, yeah.
That means they've actually had to sit through it. A lot. Poor bastard.
Editors get paid to do this. And, there's some terrible television put out, and there will be some poor editors who are starting up or on top of their game who just have to plough through the shit. People will have to do best-of compilations for Big Brother. Can you imagine how tedious that is?
Christ.
So, now that we've rescued Shadow Squad, shall we stick in the corner and ignore it?
Please, although I still do have an episode to cut where we watched it. I suppose I should get on with it really, but there's always something more interesting to edit.
I suspect it's quite a fun episode because I don't think we were kind to it. It's a while since we recorded it. It's before you moved house.
It is. Oh my.
In fact, it might have been one of the last things we recorded in Richton Towers.
Well, my choice is going to be Florizel Street. Basically the pilot episode. I think they recorded a couple actually of Florizel Street, which was the forerunner of Coronation Street, and was shown to a rather unenthusiastic board of directors and chairpeople up on the first floor. So I don't know whether it still exists. I suspect that it does, because they've been very good at archiving Coronation Street.
I suspect if it still existed, it would have been at least released on one of the compilations that's been done.
Yeah, I'm going to black archive it anyway, because, yeah, it would be lovely to see.
They made 3 episodes, and the first and the third don't exist.
Oh, we'll have those back. Nice slice of TV history. While we're on this, are there actually any missing episodes of Corrie? Because I think there's 2 or 3 from sort of the late 60s, early 70s, if memory serves.
There is one from the 13th of June 1983, episode number 1316, where the only known complete copy is on a U-matic tape. And episode number 201 from the 24th of July 1972 is missing. The All-Star Comedy Carnival insert from Christmas Day 1969 is missing, but an audio recording exists. And there are a handful, 503, 504, 505, that are down as missing, but probably were never made in the first place. So there are a handful of missing Coronation Street episodes.
Well, we'll fill in all the gaps. What the hell?
And there was also an American promo that was put together that is missing.
I cannot see that working in America.
I can't see it being massively popular, but then, you've got The Avengers, which was a huge thing in America that was very, very English. And, The Avengers was almost a sort of caricature English. And the reason it didn't work after the final season is because it was redirection to appeal more to the Americans. And the American audience basically said, well, you've wrecked all the things that we were interested in, so we'll go back to our homegrown stuff. Anyway, we've yabbered on enough.
Yes. Let's go back upstairs and watch what we've come to watch. So without further ado, this is The Road to Coronation Street. Ron VT.
It's Tony Warren, the writer.
Thought you were an actor.
Oh, that was yesterday.
I've got a voice that needs to be heard, and if Mr. Elton doesn't snap me up, somebody else will.
I'm a writer, I'm northern, and I'm ready to be nurtured.
You want to write about something real?
Yes.
What do you know?
I know about Manchester.
How long will it take?
Is tomorrow fast enough?
Who wants to see a back street in the middle of nowhere?
Right. Come on, Dennis Tanner, where is it?
We have the beginnings of a great cast here, and they're all from Manchester. What's the point of being in Manchester at all if you can't tell its story?
You've made something that everyone can hear.
I have to admit, I'm curious to see how it ends.
Straight off the bat, what did this remind you of?
Adventure in Space and Time.
Yeah.
But not as good.
No.
That's damning it with faint praise, because this was really good. It's just Adventure in Space and Time is brilliant. I've loved the early Coronation Street that we've been watching. Coronation Street now, I haven't watched it in probably 30 years.
Same.
It's something I used to watch with my nana, probably nearer 40 years, actually.
I saw the odd bits of it when I was with my ex-wife, but it was only because it was on in the room. I wasn't really watching. I've said this before, I'm on record. I just think all the soap operas now have blended into this TV to slit your wrists by melange. There's no...
Melange, what a great word.
Yes.
Like effluvium, that's another marvellous word.
That is a good word. Welcome to Dictionary Corner. No, I just find it all a little bit grim. There's no lightness of touch.
Sorry,
now,
you actually crackled at that point, and it did come across as Welcome to Dick Corner. Ladies and gentlemen, we're recording this remotely, as we do for the occasional special thing we need to do, or just when we fancy a chat.
Yes. And unusually for us, rather than a gin, we're recording this with a brew.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, so actually, to be honest, I'm not averse to a breakfast gin, but I've got to drive later.
We have cruised in gin area at this time.
I think we've done a TS on what we described as a breakfast gin at one point, but I think it should really be a cup of tea. But I think that's entirely appropriate for this, because in the, spoilers, in the first episode of Coronation Street, there's this whole big thing about how having a cup of tea with your tea is a bit common. I don't see why.
Yeah. We'll come on to that.
But Ken Barlow did start off being written as a bit of a dick.
He was a bit of a dick in the first episode. Again, we'll come on to this. This in itself, as you've said, it's no Adventure in Space and Time, but that was exceptional. But from the off, I thought this was really beautifully filmed. It just really captured the feel.
And this, for Coronation Street fans, this may be an Adventure in Space and Time. We are Doctor Who fans who have an interest in the early days of Coronation Street. So, to an extent, we are its target audience, we are its niche, but not as much as we're 200% the niche of Adventure in Space and Time. So, downplaying it to Adventure in Space and Time is a personal judgment, and I don't think reflects at all on the quality of this programme. This was brilliantly done.
It was, and I enjoyed this from start to finish, unashamedly. I've got a copy of this on DVD. I think it is actually available to properly stream. I could be wrong there.
I was going to watch it on DVD, and it's in a box somewhere, and I couldn't find it. And weirdly, I know I've searched it out recently to bring it to yours next time we record. We're just doing this a little bit early because of the anniversary. I can't find where it is.
Was it a rather ropey stream off a certain tube?
Yes.
It captures the film beautifully. I mean, the one thing for me in anything like this that really screws down the time is those green beryl teacups and saucers. That catapults me back to school. Growing up, everywhere that was sort of any sort of institution or organisation had those teacups. So it's nailed on with those. But then we come on to the casting of this thing. It's very well cast. We've got David Dawson. He plays Tony Warren. I don't know whether it's accurate. I suspect it is accurate to Tony Warren at the time because they got all the people in. I'm going to keep coming back to Adventure in Space and Time, but the casting was brilliant. Jane Horrocks is in there. Sean Dooley's in there. Stephen Burkoff's in there. And the most curious bit of casting of all, Jessie Wallace as Pat Phoenix.
Now let's get this straight. Not an hour ago you asked me for 2 bob for cigarettes.
And you wouldn't give it me, we know.
So you stooped to going in a lady's handbag?
Just listen it. A lady, is that what you crack on you are these days?
Fine son. A fine son you are. That tongue of yours will get you on one of these days.
Oh, give over. You've lost 2 bob. I don't know what it is. What am I supposed to do about it?
Get work. Get work. That's what you're supposed to do about it.
Oh, change the record, will you?
She's brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant.
Marvellous. I mean, it's the oddest bit of casting. Jessie Wallace, Kat Slater from EastEnders, and it works. It is bob on.
But wasn't Kat Slater a bit of a... I was going to say gobshite, and none of these women are gobshites.
Harridan.
No, she's not even that, because Harridan would imply that... Ina Sharples is a Harridan, because she will go after people. Elsie Tanner doesn't. It's just Elsie Tanner will not back down. So she's... Oh, there must be the appropriate... I mean, because it's not forthright. She is forthright, but it's... I've had to stand on my own 2 feet, and there is no fucking way you're knocking me off my feet, so back away off. It's that attitude rather than Ina Sharples, who is going in with both elbows being pointy and being a bit aggressive with it. Elsie Tanner, she was lovely until you riled her, and then there was no backing down. So she's not really a Harridan.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment, yes.
Elsie Tanner was my nan's favourite character on Coronation Street, apart from the cat.
Bobby, Minnie Caldwell's cat, I believe.
Yes.
There's 2 left to note, really. Celia Imrie plays Doris Speed. There was a lovely little bit where they're going to have to age her up to about 52, maybe 55. And there's this wry smile because she was already older than that. But then there was one particular scene where Ken Barlow was introduced. And my God, where did they find an actor that looks so much like William Roach?
Because
well,
it's his
his
grandson.
son. Yes, it's his son.
Oh, right. I thought it was his grandson. But...
He plays his grandson in Coronation Street, but I was astounded. I thought, good God, that's an amazing bit of casting. Then I realised why. But I have to give top marks to Linda Barron playing Violet Carson. She is marvellous from the first second she appears on screen. There's a lovely bit where there's the audition from Violet Carson where she's directed in a certain way and then says, right, can I do it my way now?
And yeah, she is absolutely brilliant. She's in about 3 scenes.
Yeah, she's not in it very much, surprisingly, but she is great.
Her big scene is that audition scene because... Other than that, what she got, the discussion with the security fella saying, I'm here for a meeting, I don't do auditions. Did she ever have a face-to-face scene with Tony Warren?
She does, yeah, because she threatened to tan his arse.
You threatened to smack my bum, and she said, well, the way I remember it, I did, and I don't think I wouldn't do it again.
Where are you being buried?
I've not given it much thought.
Well, you should. But think on you don't go to that crematorium down road. As the coffin rolls away, they play Moonlight and Roses. Oh, I spoke to the superintendent particular. He said, Moonlight and Roses, that's not Moonlight and Roses, that's Andantina. I said, Andantina and no Andantina, I'm rolling away to Crimond. And them fancies today's, I took half a dozen and no eclairs. I said, no eclairs. You're from Esmeralda Street, aren't you? And weren't you on the bar at the Farriers?
What are you looking like that for? She's very good.
You got any kids? No. Better off without them. A bottle of bleach.
She's perfect.
More trouble than there were.
So why are you still wearing that
Esmeralda
face?
Street, eh? Very bay window down there, aren't they?
You don't know her.
Well, you find it very different up here. There's some very funny people in this street.
She was brilliant. She isn't my standout, mainly because for all she's brilliant in one scene. Jessie Wallace is my standout. I thought she was amazing.
Got to be said, that was an inspired bit of casting. Certainly not one that would leap to mind, but yeah, what a surprise.
It's possibly because neither of us are casting directors.
That is true, but...
Well, I suppose technically you are for the Maverick stuff, but...
Yeah, I tend not to do a lot of dramatical pieces, though, but one of the strangest things about this is that it was made by the BBC for ITV. And again, I can't fault that. It's a very odd thing for ITV to either approach or allow the BBC to make this, but they just do it well.
It kind of isn't, because everybody recognises the BBC is better at period drama. And the 1960s is now period drama. Having said that, who did Heartbeat and things like that? Was that BBC or ITV?
That was ITV.
Yeah, because that's done pretty well, and Endeavour and things like that. So,
well, they've got much better at it over the years, but I think it's still recognised that, by and large, the BBC does it better than ITV. That said, you've got things now with the special effects and what have you that you have. I'm going to cite The Crown as a shining example, particularly the early one. The later ones, as you get forward in time, could be anywhere, frankly, but certainly the very early ones set in the 50s and earlier than that.
Yeah, and Victoria as well.
Never watched it. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you had, because I know Dawn has.
I've seen bits of it, largely to see Jenna Coleman, but...
It's good. I wasn't really expecting to like either of them, and we binge-watched both of them. We watched all of The Crown, pretty much back-to-back, all 6 seasons. And then a couple of months later, we watched all 3 seasons of Victoria. They're really, really good.
Just as an aside, we binged Gilded Age. I didn't expect to like it, but we did.
What, both seasons?
And I've just ordered the 3rd.
Oh, I didn't know there was a 3rd.
Yeah, it's only just come out this month. Or the DVD has, and they're filming a 4th. It's very... it is very Julian Fellows. Basically, we're all ruined. Oh, look, somebody's died we barely know and has left us all their money. Thankfully, we're saved. Phew, didn't see that coming.
As entertaining an aside as this is, should we get back to the road to Coronation
Street? Yes, we better had. The story itself is actually quite slow, because to make, sort of an hour and a half, hour and a quarter's drama out of what is basically a scant story, they've done really well out of it. And I wasn't bored for a second.
No, I think there was one little bit that stuck out as that's not the way this would play out. It was Agnes, wasn't it, the tea lady?
Yes.
And there's a brilliant bit where, the producer, is watching the playback, basically saying, we'll give up on this, there's no point carrying on with it. And the tea lady is absolutely transfixed. And it's the Elsie Tanner, Where's Me Too Bob Gone scene, which is brilliant. And she's absolutely transfixed by it. And that's the whole... ordinary people respond to this, which leads on to getting the feedback from all the people around the building.
As far as I'm aware, that's a real event.
Oh, yeah. But in the second bit, where they've got it all approved and he recognises that it's down to Agnes, he comes up to this tea lady and picks her up and swings her around and kisses her on the forehead. And if that was true to life, she would have smacked him into the middle of next week. Wouldn't she? How many of these kind of women do you know?
Quite a few, but it's all how you sidle up to them.
Well, he didn't sidle up to her. He just saw her in the corridor, picked her up bodily, swung her around and kissed her. She would have belted him. But even briefly seen characters like Agnes are beautifully done, incredibly well scripted and really well performed.
Enid Dunn played Agnes. She doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so I'm assuming she doesn't have many credits.
Even if this is her only one, and she was who was that Coronation? Amy Tuttle, not Coronation Street, Crossroads, and she wrote in saying none of your actors know how to do a Brummie accent. So they brought her on as a character, and she was in it for years.
Not at all familiar with Crossroads. We really must do that, because you have sent me a little sort of mini box set with a few Crossroads episodes on, and I think it would be marvellous.
Yeah, absolutely. You could do it alongside Nolly, but we need to get Paul the Shayetti's input onto which are the best episodes, because he's a huge Crossroads fan.
I believe so, yes.
I mean, we could carry on heaping superlatives on this, and it is absolutely wonderful. And from a Coronation Street perspective, from a history of television perspective, it's just really well worth watching. The final thing that I would say, this is a biopic of Tony Warren, the initial writer. And it's described as he's a struggling writer. In this, he doesn't show any struggle at all. He turns up, they said, we haven't got any work for you as an actor, but it's a pity you're not a writer. Oh, I am a writer. I'll go home and write an episode of Shadow Squad, and then brings it in the next day and gets commissioned. So, I mean, there is no struggle to that whatsoever. How that ties in with real life, I don't know. But he went on in the 1990s to become an author. Started with a book called The Lights of Manchester, and I think he did about another 4 or 5. It's brilliant. It's really, really entertaining. I've only read the first one, and this was pre-Kindle days. I read it on the old-fashioned paper things.
Good Lord.
Good Lord, yes, how antediluvian. It's really good. If you enjoy this, and you enjoy that sort of backwards and forwardsing, give The Lights of Manchester a try. The others are supposed to be every bit as good. It's just that first one is the only one that I've read. But I now think that I need to reread it and read the rest, because I remember really, really enjoying it.
You're now at £1 in Manchester if the flower seller in St Anne's Square doesn't nod as you pass. This morning he waved. Heads turned to look at the object of his interest, just as people will bend and peer to see who is inside a passing Rolls Royce. Sorrel Starkey didn't mind this attention. She had not gone into show business to pass unnoticed. Manchester was welcome to stare as much as it liked. Manchester had made her. Sorrel paused and looked at her own reflection in Mappin and Webb, the jeweller's window. Did it show? The happiness inside her was so new and so strong that she felt it should be shining out of her like a searchlight. Once in a lifetime, everybody should be allowed to feel like this. She felt in tune with the entire world, and her feet were on the pavements of the city she loved most on earth. Sorrel's reflection shone back at her. It was very difficult to put an age on it. Slim enough, elegant enough, and she'd been wise enough to let the hair go to ash blonde. The face was still all eyes, but it didn't shout too loudly of plastic surgeons. She looked what she was. A queen of television soap opera. So to round us off, as a little bonus, I know we covered this in the last episode, but that was, as we've already admitted, years ago. We're going to do a full commentary on the very first episode of Coronation Street. We're recording this on the 9th of December 2025, 65 years after the first episode. We are very much in the zone, so without further ado, let us take a trip down the cobbles for the very first time on the 9th of December 1960. Run VT.
Ooh. Granada Television International.
Do you know, I was always a bit miffed living in Granada land because we're about the only independent TV company. We didn't have any sort of jingle at all. It does look painfully indoor set, doesn't it? That transfer from film titles of a terrace street to, oh dear, painted backdrops of terraced houses. Having said all that, I have always adored this first episode. It's a bit like the first episode of Doctor Who. I think it's one of the finest pieces of TV ever committed to film. I've seen it, or at least half a dozen times, and it never grows old. So here we are in Florrie Lindley's shop.
Well, at the moment, it's still Elsie Tappin's shop, isn't it?
Mrs. Lappin is stopping on to help her transition to, to being the proper proprietor sort of thing. But it is her shop. But I've been listening to the dialogue. We watched this earlier this week. They cram so much information and background into just everyday conversation. You find out about her son, about where she used to work, about her own boss. It's all in there in this 2.5-minute scene.
And not really referred to again, I don't think.
Oh, probably not, no.
I think her son is, but the rest of it I don't think was.
I used to have a notice up there. Please do not ask for credit, as a refusal often offends.
And then in a second we get this beautiful segue into introducing other characters when one of the Tanners walked in.
Now for a start, the Tanners at number 11. If you'll take my advice, you won't let them go a penny over 10 bob.
I do like the fact, though, that they are all Manchester actors.
Not gone back then yet?
I brought you some empties. Oh, and I want a quarter boiled ham.
You've not met Mrs. Lindley, have you? This is Linda Chevesky. She married a Pole.
Would we get away with that now? As an introduction?
Well, she married a Pole.
Yeah. Would it be the dumb thing to do?
Oh, Elsie Tanner. I adored Elsie Tanner.
Oh, wibbly wobbly, setty wetty. Oh, a range.
Oh, and it's got a
kitchenette.
Well, a towel dryer.
Oh, yeah.
My nan used to have one of those.
Well, we had one up until about 6 months ago, but it's in better days. But you can actually buy all the new bits to put one together now. They sell them at B&Q.
What, bits of doweling?
Yeah. And the iron ends for it, and the string and the pulleys, it's all in there. You can buy it at B&Q.
That was a fairly gratuitous down the cleavage shot, wasn't it?
Yes, for 1960.
Oh, look in the background. She's got ducks. 15 years before Hilda Ogden turned up, she's got ducks.
Oh, Ida Barlow.
The soon-to-be ex-Ida Barlow.
Was it a car crash she got killed in, a run down?
No, knocked down by a bus.
What happened to Frank? I should know, because I've looked it up recently. Can't remember.
Heart attack, I think. And David was killed in a car crash in Australia.
Car crash in late 60s, yeah.
Yeah. Did David Barlow marry Linda What's-Her-Face?
I don't know. You see, in all honesty, I'm not that familiar with Coronation Street. I'm just completely captivated by the 60s. These black and white ones.
It's old Coronation Street I'm familiar with because I used to watch it with my nan, but that would be sort of 70s, 80s. And then when you could get videotapes, she and I watched a whole load of back episodes.
Why do we have to have cups of tea with our food? Well, I'll tell you for why. I like my food swilled down properly, that's why.
See, this scene round the table, it was 20 years before I was a kid, but it's a very familiar one. Place of bread and butter in middle at table.
And that gingham tablecloth was exactly like my nan and granddad's used to be.
Yeah, very similar to ours and all. We had gingham.
Are you meeting a girl?
Yes. It's just a girl that's in my year.
The one you have
Oh, isn't the girl in his year Patricia Shakespeare that ended up on Howard's Way? And I was also in Sapphire and Steel. But I think he gets her pregnant and she disappeared off and wrote to him, and the letter got stuck behind the skirting or something like that and didn't get picked up for about 40-odd years.
Oh, now that you say that, I do recall. Yeah, he finds out he's got some secret child that he never knew about. Getting back to the meal that they're eating, it does strike me as odd that he sees it as odd, having been away to uni, that they have a plate of bread and cups of tea with it, dinner. Now, I must admit now I do have glasses of wine rather than a mug of tea, but that was a very common sight round our dinner table in the 80s.
My nana and granddad always had tea with their dinner. We used to have squash.
Yeah, as kids we used to have glasses of water, but I must admit I cannot have fish and chips, even now, without a plate of bread and butter and a mug of tea.
I'm with you with the bread and butter. First thing I do with a chippy tea is chip butties, and it's got to be the cheapest
white,
toasty bread.
Loaf. Yeah, absolutely.
And you see, my headspace says that the drink that you have with fish and chips is cream soda.
I cannot get my head around this with you. Cream soda to me is just sickly sweet. Ugh. And I know that you love it, but I just can't get my head around it at all.
I mean, you can get sugar-free cream soda, which
must be even worse. It's full of
it's-
aspartame and shit.
Annie Walker's her poshest.
Oh, there's a pub not far from where I used to live, and it looked just like this, even now. God, I don't half miss pubs when they used to be like this. They're nothing like that now. See, although, I mean, it was still a luxury thing going to the pub. It wasn't, it was an expense, but it's nothing like the expense it is now.
Oh, God, we went out for breakfast on Sunday, which we do very, very, very rarely. And it was kind of a sort of start of the Christmas season thing. And called into the pub on the way home and had mulled wine. And they do a lovely mulled wine. But, it's for two of us, it was a tenner a round.
Bloody hell, for 2 glasses of mulled wine?
I live in Trent and remember the posh bit of Stoke-on-Trent.
Of course.
No riffraff.
Even Weatherspoons is pronounced with a plum in one's mouth.
We don't have a Weatherspoons in Trentham.
It's the not. The up in arms.
Oh, how much do I owe you? Nothing. Oh, don't be so daft. Where's my purse? No, I mean it. You don't...
Good Lord, she's a bit pointy. Crikey.
Oh, spitting on mascara. Oh, she's only done one eye.
And you're a bit of a madam, you know. Fancy as much as a violin. I don't have a change. You didn't want to go breaking into a note. Well, you could have asked her to write it down, couldn't you? A new woman I didn't like.
See, for all we romanticise this, and I'm guilty as sin of romanticising this, life must have been very boring. In comparison with how it is now. I mean, we're so lucky with what we've got access to in the 21st century. People who want to look back on the good old days. I don't. I don't miss any of this. But I do look back on it with a great fondness, even all the same.
The background music's a little of its time.
Yeah. You see, this in itself, she married a Pole. To open a series in 1960 with a foreigner in it.
It doesn't have a foreigner in it. She's just saying that she's broken up with him.
Oh, don't worry, he's in episode 2.
I can't go back, Mum, I can't. You don't know what he's like when he gets one of his moods on him.
Considering this is filmed and set in December... Oh, it is compelling, but considering it's filmed and set in December, nobody's got the fire lit.
Most of them. Oh, now we know what that dirty great suitcase was in here.
No wonder she's so perky.
Left in millinery the other day. I'll look into that tomorrow.
Having said that, I do miss that, buying half a pound of ham in greaseproof paper from the corner shop.
Boiled ham.
Oh, because they all had... Those shops had a smell all of their own. Oh, it was wonderful.
My sort of cousin used to run one in Bishop's Castle. It was still like that, mid-80s.
Yeah, that was Morgan's was ours in Bamber Bridge. Corner of Sargent Street.
Yeah, we used to drive all the way from Poole in Dorset to Bishop's Castle. It took bloody ages.
You've got one on me there. Where's Bishop's Castle?
Welsh border. It's just the Shropshire side of the Welsh border. She's a miserable old baggage. Very few of my relatives I actually get on with.
It has come across over the years.
I mean, most of them I don't know, because Mum had fallen out with pretty much everybody. The ones in Blackpool I get on well with.
Oh, you have mentioned those, yeah.
Next time we do Funny Girls, we'll meet up with them.
Oh, and everyone getting the evening paper. Yeah, there are little fragments of the past I do lament.
Is reading the paper really all that different to getting the news on your phone, realistically, in terms of sociability?
No, but it was a tangible thing. You know, it was there. It was passed around the family, and then there was the crossword in the back, and we'd read the... I don't know. I just... You see, even now on the bus, there's... If I'm lucky, it's not every morning that they're stacked up, but there'll be a bag of the Metro, the free paper on the bus, and I'll sit there doing the cryptic crossword. Now, with the best will in the world, it's not the same doing it on your phone. Oh, here she is, Violet Carson.
Blackpool's finest.
Why in the name of hell would you have a stool by the counter when you've got noisy old packages like that ready to sit down and oin you? She'll be burning that stool after this scene's over. And look at that magnificent old till. It looks like it's made of iron.
It's a bit arkwright, isn't it?
It is, very.
And the old-fashioned scales as well.
Mm. See, all this is little...
Oh, just picked up with her hands.
I know, just no tongs, no nothing. But even this conversation here, it's all background. It's all giving depth to the character. The nonsense conversations, Tuppenny Halfpenny, sort of, there's no depth to them, but you're just colouring in the characters in the background all the time. What a beautifully written piece of TV. Perfectly captured the time. Oh, they've got the fire lit. I mean, there's only one twig on it, but...
Isn't she marvellous? And there you go, there's a lit fire. Do you know, we had a house that had a fireplace like that.
Where were that?
Runcorn, I think.
Yeah, I've got about a bit.
Yeah, my family all get itchy feet.
My Auntie Molly used to have they were very similar style, but that were in her back room, in her back parlour.
Yeah, this house we're in now, I've lived in the longest ever in my entire life.
It's about 10 years now, a bit longer.
11.
When
I was a kid, we didn't... I think there was one house we lived in for 4 years, and that seemed like forever, because normally it was every year or two we moved. And Nana and Grandad used to move even more often. Yeah, she's not blaming anybody very loudly.
No. Oh, look at that mantel clock. It's nowhere near the centre of the mantelpiece. That would never happen.
Look at the size of that telly. I don't know that you're right about the clock. I know what you mean, but there's that great big picture there.
I know, but who's on picture?
I don't know, I can only see the bottom of the frame.
See, that's quite nice, bit of Foley work there. The engines in the background, the steam engines going over at Viaduct.
Albert Tatlock.
He was in it well into colour days.
Oh, God, yeah, I mean, I remember watching it. I think he was in it longer than Ina Sharples was.
83, I think, her last appearance. She left with a bit of a whimper. But he was a year or two after that, I know that.
Yeah, she went off to Blackpool, didn't she, to be housekeeper for somebody or other.
Yeah, but there was no fanfare when she left. It was just she had her last scene, and it was no different to any other scene. It was a bit of a shame, really, but I think she left under a bit of a cloud.
Well, she was living with those two at the time, wasn't she? It came up on my YouTube feed fairly recently. So she was having a bit of a Barney with Uncle Albert. There you go. Susan Cunningham. I think that's Patricia Shakespeare.
Well, Coronation Street. Oh, what's wrong with Coronation Street?
This is when Ken Barlow still had his Lancashire accent, or still affected a Lancashire accent. That wore thin as the years rolled down.
Well, he became a teacher.
Yes.
So I can't remember whose brother Albert was.
What, Albert Tatlock? No idea. No, don't know.
He always called him Uncle Albert, didn't he?
Did he?
I think so.
But I reckon that college has turned you into a proper stuck-up little...
Oh, I always got the impression from this first episode it was just like the old man next door that he was friendly with.
Is that somebody at my back door?
Oh, Mr. Tatlock, is our Ken there?
You see, Mr. Tatlock, so...
There's a young lady come for you. It's that friend of yours, the one you were supposed to meet in town.
His niece was Val.
Valerie Tatlock. Ken married it.
Yeah,
Is that
first wife, Anne Reid, that got electrocuted with a hairdryer.
Hairdryer.
Anne Reid that went on to Dinner Ladies.
And many, many other things.
Here, our boss comes from around your place.
What's his name?
Ernie Parrin.
Ernest Parry.
Do you know him?
Do I not?
Shake. Oh, excuse the oil. I didn't have a chance to wash and my mum was doing spots.
We've both seen this, God knows how many times, and we're spellbound.
Yeah.
I loved that. Absolutely loved it.
That was really, really good.
It was wonderful. I'll stand by this, one of the best pieces of TV ever committed to film. And I'm not a fan of Coronation Street. I think that it's, from what I've seen recently, it's basically the northern version of EastEnders, which is TV to slit your wrist by.
Shakespeare, not Shakespeare. But yet, Tony Warren's novels are really well worth reading.
Oh, I'll have to track one down then.
Having said that, I think I've only read a couple of them.
Next episode was 6 days away. Wow. Not 5 days away.
Wednesday, 14th of December. Why, did it start off twice a week?
Yeah, twice a week. They made 7 episodes in 1960. Every time I see it, I can never get over how good it still is. It really is. I absolutely adore it. For anybody out there that's not seen the first episode of Corrie, and I recognise that it's in black and white, in 4:3 ratio, and in what is comparatively poor quality. For anybody that's got half an inkling to look back on days gone by, you've said this many times, that soap operas...
Many, many times.
Many, many times, Lady Counterblast. They are a window on the past. They're a social document. And you're absolutely right.
I am about many things.
And modest too.
Modesty prevents me from commenting.
Unashamedly, as I've said about half a dozen times a second throughout the whole, I loved that. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's, again, another of those 25 minutes of TV that I never get tired of seeing.
Yeah, I've seen this a bunch of times. I first watched it when they started releasing old episodes on VHS tape, and I watched it with my nana, and she didn't remember it from first. I mean, she wouldn't have seen it first time round because I don't think they had a telly at that point. But she absolutely loved it. Her favourite character was Elsie Tanner. She's pretty much my favourite character as well, because she's got that whole matriarchal, this is my house, you do what I say. No backing down, but no pushing up against anybody either. I mean, she will have her standoffs with the likes of Ina Sharples or Hilda Ogden or whoever, but it wasn't ever her driving things. She was obviously somebody who'd had a tough life through no fault of her own and had just had to stand her ground or fall, and she wasn't prepared to fall. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Annie Walker, I like Ina Sharples, I like Ida Barlow as well, and they're all northern women of a certain age, all of different types, and I can recognise all of them from people I've known. I absolutely loved this. I've watched it probably not as many times as you. We only watched this a little while ago when we did the recording with Paul. I mean, that little while is probably about 3 years. But
2 years, yes.
But yeah, I loved it. I have no interest in Coronation Street now. No soap opera now is designed for me to watch. I've no interest in watching any of them. But this is brilliant and still pretty relatable.
It absolutely is. For 20 years, I lived on a terrace street. It's not a million miles off, this first episode. It's been repeated on the 30th, 40th, 50th and 60th anniversaries on ITV. It's been released on DVD half a dozen times, not least of which is the lovely box set by Network. And on the back of all of this 65th anniversary excitement, we've been going through each episode. We've started watching Coronation Street from the start. They're all on YouTube. So we're about 10, 12 episodes in now. Absolutely gripped. It's really good stuff. It's as good as any drama. Anything that we've watched, it's really good.
Did they release the first 24? Way, way, way back in the day. And I think I watched all of those with Nana. I certainly watched as many as they released with me Nana. And we did the 60s and we did the 70s and kind of gave up interest on it. I stopped watching it when she stopped being interested in it. It's not something my mum or dad were ever interested in at all. This was a me and Nana thing.
Yeah, I can't say we've ever been a soap opera family, and I don't have the time to, because it's on 4 or 5 times a week or something daft like that. Well, I don't have that time to invest. I think Paul's been saying that it's now 3-hour-long episodes a week. That's near as, damn it, 2 movies a week. I don't have time for that. And I don't particularly find it all that gripping, if I'm honest. Like I say, it's all a little bit grim, and there's no light touch, there's no comic asides, there's no relief at all, which is a shame.
But it's aiming towards a different audience. And
It is.
And it's very successful at captivating that audience, so I can't criticise it at all. And me saying this isn't for me isn't a criticism because it's not designed for me.
Can you imagine a programme that's been running 60-odd years not being exactly the same as how it was when it first started?
I can, and I don't have a problem with that.
To all of you out there in Corryland, we hope you're still enjoying it. Because, like we've both said, it's not for us, but it's a hugely successful thing. And good luck to you. And well done. 65 years. That's quite an achievement. A continuous run.
Does that now make it the longest running TV show in the world? I know The Sky at Night was for a long time, but
yeah, it's a bit sporadic.
Yeah.
It's certainly the longest TV soap in the world. The Archers has thrashed everything, so that's still going, and it's 200 years old now. I suspect there's something longer in America.
I don't think there is, because their daytime soaps all started on the back of this. Oh no, there were soap operas before.
Was it As the World Turns, or am I making that up?
As the World Turns stopped in 2010.
Amateurs. No staying power, these Yanks.
All My Children is another one, isn't it? Started in 1970. I don't really know soap operas, and I certainly don't know American soap operas, other than the Dallas and Dynasty that I was subjected to as a kid. But certainly of all of those, Coronation Street would be the drama and would be the most mainstream.
Yeah, soap opera, certainly. It's the longest running in the world. That's thrashed everything.
Well done, Coronation Street. That was bloody good. And I think I last saw it a couple of years ago, probably when we did the first half of this podcast. But yeah, no, that was really, really good. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
I saw it 5 days ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. What a great bit of TV. I mean, hats off to Tony Warren. I loved The Road to Coronation Street. I thought that was, as the BBC always do, a great introduction to the series, or the origins of the series. And watching the actual episode, yeah, it's just, how could anybody have possibly watched the pilot version of that and thought, nah, this will never go anywhere. Brilliant stuff.
But, you know, some brilliant shows didn't go anywhere in the 60s.
Stop it. It's dirty.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. The Champions only had one series. Appalling. But before we wander off too far, we shall raise a glass to Coronation Street, 65 years.
Raise a mug.
Oh, aye.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're drinking out of a
teacup, saucer.
Flouncy little china teacup, yeah.
He knows me well.
I've got a mug. And it's a mug with the Starship Enterprise on it, because first one out of the cupboard was one of Alan's.
And with that, we shall sign off. Thank you for staying the course with us and having our little mini celebration of Coronation Street. Next time we are back, what are we watching?
We are going to watch an absolute classic of BBC Christmas Day, early 70s, just leading into their Ghost Stories for Christmas. We are going to watch Nigel Neal's Stone Tape. And not only that, we are watching it with the fine gentlemen from the Peggy Mount Calamity Hour.
They certainly are. Until then, we are raising our eggnog.
You've got eggnog. I'm on the mulled wine.
I'll get to the foot of our stairs. Thanks for listening, everyone. Ta-ta.
Bye now.
The Exton Moss experiment featured Simon Exton and Ken Moss. All featured soundtracks are the property of their respective producers, and no infringement of copyright is intended. Title music was performed by the BBC Symphony Orchestra, and the programme was produced by Maverick Productions. For more information, please visit maverickproductionsuk.blogspot.com or find us on social media.